my name is Alex, and today I am doing the second development log for the Battle Mage Project. It's been a couple months since I did the last one. I meant to do one actually at the beginning of January, but I ended up getting sick and just didn't think it was really worth it to do one after having done so little. So I, I get to do my second one. So this will be quite interesting. Um, so I'll be going over just kind of things that I've done since my last development log, as well as things I expect to get done before the next one. So yeah, it'll be pretty cool. If you want to support the project or anything like that, be sure to like, subscribe, and also comment. Let me know what you think of the project as well. I'm actually kind of curious to see if any of you guys who watch this would be curious about anything about the project. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's go and jump right into it. Alright, so I'm going to start here in VR here real quick. Show what kind of went on here. So in terms of the player models or anything, I've kept a lot of these just to kind of still keep a general sense of how it's going to look to the player. Because I do still expect to have like a visible chest and hands, maybe some kind of thing on top of the head. I haven't yet decided yet for the head. I'm still kind of in between ideas for how the head's gonna work. But on top of that, then we also have the wand, which now actually spawns with the player initially, which will actually help later on with classes and stuff. And if I decide to do like custom wands or anything like that, then it'll make it a little bit easier to modify the mesh and all that, which is kind of nice. Aside from that, I also improved how I added some more samples and stuff to the gestures, so they all actually are much more responsive than they were last time, which is quite nice. I also have my dummy over here actually. I can actually see too. I don't know if I had these spells implemented last time, but now they are, and they are working much better. I still got half my mana. Then I also added in a couple new ones as well. So let me see if I can recall. So this is one. So this one was kind of fun to play around with. This one was an explosion. One issue I have noticed with this is the amount of particles it emits really messes with at least running the virtual desktop from my computer to my headset, so it gets really laggy at this point. But I actually ended up hooking it up to the wand, at least for the time being, because the gesture I use makes it difficult to aim. So I did that to make it a little bit easier to aim. I think I missed. Hold on. I do want to add in some kind of way to be able to have it a little bit more lock on to the player when a spell is cast. That way you don't have to worry about aiming it as much to that same precision, because I don't know if you can tell, but it's not entirely easy to aim down the wand like that. I've gotten a little bit used to it just through testing, but it would definitely take some work to any new players and stuff like that. Aside from that, I don't know if I had this working last time, but basically teleporting between the three spots. You can see it keeps me roughly in the same area of the play space. So that's pretty cool. This is something I'm actually considering doing, just to add a little bit of an extra element and an alternative to blocking spells, as I'm planning on making blocking, one, not work against all spells, but two, use up mana. So that'll be interesting. That's going to be something I actually expect to have by the time the next development log comes out, is some kind of shield. Let me go and take off the headset real quick. So that is something I am definitely hoping for. So this was the dummy. Another thing we actually, or that I actually implemented, was something that I don't yet have a gesture assigned for. But if I actually go over here, it's basically going to be a trap essentially. So the plan for this is this was how I kind of tied into the teleporting around. This is something I'm hoping will kind of counteract teleporting around. Is I want to do two things. One, I either want a cooldown for that, or I want it to cost a certain amount of mana, so that way you can only teleport around so much to begin with. But another thing I'm looking into is being able to put down traps for your opponent. And I'm hoping that this will also kind of, make it a little bit more difficult for the players if they want to like teleport around all crazy as well. Because then you can just have traps on a whole bunch of spells, or traps on a whole bunch of spots, and then just make it so that way it's very difficult for them to move around, or they have to pay a little bit more attention before they move around. Again, it's something I'm considering. None of this is, of course, final. All of this is certainly certainly open to change at some point or another. So yeah. Also next month, I also want to see about testing some of this on standalone. On my quest, I actually tried that about a week ago, I think. I didn't go back to it yet, but I was having issues with the Android build. I wasn't able to build it for whatever reason, so I have to figure out what's going on there. And then, yeah. So it's kind of it's pretty cool. Project's coming along. It's certainly slow, but I do expect that at the very least the spells and stuff will be a little bit more, how they function will be a little bit more fleshed out within the next couple of months, which will be pretty interesting. I also already have plans for what I'll be doing for next classes. I at the very least I would like to get a couple down, hopefully here soon, so that way I can also test as well some networking as well. Which at the moment isn't an easy thing to do. I only have one headset and one computer I can use, so I can't test it on separate hardware very easily. So unfortunately it will take a little bit of working around, or a little bit of patience to kind of figure out what I'll do there. But yeah, as of right now, that's where the Battle Mage Project is at. Slow development, but it is certainly still going along. So yeah, there we go. All right, so with that is the second development log for the Battle Mage Project. Personally, I think it's going a little bit slower than I would like. Not because anything's bad about it or difficult, but just because I'm pretty excited to eventually see this become an actual fleshed out thing. A lot of I've put a little bit of time into developing like a little bit more what I want to see in the final project. So I'm certainly excited to see what the final thing will look like. But yeah, if you want to support the Battle Mage Project or anything like that, be sure to like and subscribe. And again, leave a comment down below. Let me know, what you think about the project. Is it interesting? Is it not? Does it just, maybe maybe you just can't tell because it's way too early in development. I'd certainly be interested to hear your guys' thoughts. But yeah, until next time. See ya.